Hello and welcome to Finlandia Fridays. My name is Michael Babcock. I am your host for the special Friday the 13th edition. This week our guest is Rene Johnson. Rene, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're excited to get going for the semester. We are now underway. It's Friday of the first week of classes, and we're in the midst of what we're calling Winter Welcome, which has been a week full of fun events, including sledding on Wednesday night. There's been a couple movie showings. It's been a lot of fun, including Monday we had a special spaghetti dinner. I saw you at that dinner. That was fun, and that dessert was phenomenal.
I know. I didn't have it though. I'm going off sugar for a month.
Bad timing, yeah. Chef Mark wasn't lying when he said it was a special dessert, and I think it was a tiramisu. Is that what it's called?
Tiramisu.
It was really good. I was quite happy with that. And of course, it continues tonight with hockey games. A hockey game at the Houghton County Arena, 7 o'clock. The men's team is playing number 1 St. Norbert, so that should be exciting hockey. And of course, the big event of Winter Welcome is MLK Day. We're doing a MLK Day of Service. This is going to be the second annual event we're doing, and that's why Rene is here today. She is the chair of the Equity and Diversity Committee here at Finlandia. So Rene, can you tell us a little bit about what the MLK Day of Service is?
I will. Now, I'm not sure a lot of people actually even know how that started, but it was under Ronald Reagan's administration that it became a holiday. And originally, January 15th is Dr. King's birthday, but because it was so close to the holidays of Christmas and New Year's, it got shifted to the third Monday in January. And a lot of schools will either have a special program that'll highlight the work of Dr. King, or they'll take the whole day off because it's supposed to be, I shouldn't even say a day off, it's supposed to be a day of service, right? And so that's what people do across the country on Monday this year, January 16th. They take the day and give it as a day of service. We have lots of opportunities actually at Finlandia, but we have service sites that I'm most interested in promoting for people to be involved in on Monday. But we have a worship service, we have a special speaker, we have a brunch with some special food that Mark is going to prepare, and then we have a film in the evening, and so the full day of activities for our campus.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's cool to see how this event has evolved. Last year it was the first time we kind of put everything together into a full day. And this year it seems like there's a lot more events.
Yeah, more events. We had a speaker in the morning, and we had the service sites, and we had a brunch, but we didn't include a worship service, and we didn't have the special film in the evening. And I think we have more service sites, and we have more faculty and staff that are involved in being site leaders. So just within the first couple days of this week, we had like a third of the service sites spoken for. And so it's been a great response.
Yeah, definitely. I know the men's hockey team is going to be at the site doing the wood, and that should be really interesting. I'm excited for my team. We're going to try to go around with our Snapchat, with our camera, and try to capture as many of these different service sites as we can, including the students doing things. So it'll be a lot of fun.
No, honestly, when I talked with a couple of hockey players in the cafeteria this week about the splitting wood, they were excited. Oh yeah, we're all about that. That's great. We're on it. And I'm sure that they'll have a good time. And they, as a team, you already know how to work together, right? And they can handle the cold, and they can handle the heavy lifting, so it'll be great. But some other things I think that are great about our service sites, we have some other groups that are participating as units. For instance, every spring semester I have a servant leadership class, and we have too many. We can't all be at one site, but we have taken up the slots at the Salvation Army. We're going to be removing wallpaper, which is not one of my favorite things, but she told me that it comes off really easily, and we don't have to do all of that little, picking off little pieces. And the Servant Leadership House gals, they are going to be up at the women's shelter up in Calumet as a team. And I was really delighted that the Board of Trustees president of Finlandia University, Julie Bedell, is going to be in town, and she's going to act as a site leader at 31 Backpacks. Yeah. So we've got faculty, staff, our Board of Trustees president involved, we've got student groups, and then individual students who I have spoken with early in the week. Oh yeah, right away I went on and I signed up. It was good.
It's been great to see. I've been seeing them it's just been flooding my email box, actually, coming in with all these registrations. So it's great to see people are doing it. And I'm excited to get Julie up here.
Yeah.
Just a little preview of future editions of Finlandia Fridays. We'll have Julie on.
Great.
Not next week, but the week after. So she's going to come on and hopefully talk a little bit about that experience that she had and there, as well as why she's involved with the board, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So a couple other things going on with the service day. On Sunday night, 8 o'clock, we're going to have a special worship session led by our campus minister, or campus pastor, Soren Schmidt.
Yep, and he told me about that service. He's led this service before, and it's one that he didn't put together himself, but it's done again around the country, and it's called the Prayer for the Nations. So it involves a lot of candle lighting and mentioning, he told me, every nation in the world, I guess, is lifted up in prayer. So that's pretty special, but it's got good music. And you know, Soren is so great at music. So that's going to be at 8 o'clock on Sunday evening. And our guest speaker, who will be speaking on Monday morning, she's going to be at that worship service as well.
And that is, well, one, I want to make sure everybody gets out there. Come to the event Sunday night.
Yeah.
It's a great way to end your week, and it's a great way to start MLK Day of Service. I really hope everybody gets out there. It's also a chance to get to know Nicole Newman, who you're about to kind of talk about. She's our speaker Monday morning at the Finnish American Heritage Center. I'll make sure all of your students and staff get out to that. That's going to be a really special event for us as well.
Yeah, and I can't remember, Nicole somehow, it was Erin Barnett who encountered Nicole through some of Erin's activities, and Nicole, she lives in Washington, D.C. She's an African-American woman who has been a community organizer, and she's been really involved then in the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America youth movements. She recently wrote an article in the magazine of the ELCA, the Living Lutheran, about racism. And, well, actually, it's about racism and hope. And so I do not actually know the content of her message on Monday morning, but I know she's very inspirational, and I know it is going to be a message that is filled with hope.
Good. I hope everybody gets out to that, too. These events are going to be really meaningful, as well as just hopefully moving.
Yeah.
And I feel pretty confident they will be. And then after the speakers, there's going to be brunch for our students and staff that are interested. And then the service sites will go on, and so make sure you follow us on Snapchat. Our username is FinlandiaU. We'll have behind-the-scenes looks at all those service sites, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then the final event of the day is a film presentation of Selma.
Yeah, Selma, people probably have seen it because it was a recent film in 2014. I think it came out, and it's probably a story that people have heard of and maybe studied in their education past, but it really is a moving film. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay, it's very moving. It's very well done, and it really highlights, I think, that Dr. King, he did this work, but of course he didn't do it alone. Nobody does anything alone, right? And so it highlights all of the movement, how the movement was building and developed, and of course, as a result of this march between Selma and Montgomery, then of course we had the Voters' Rights Act that was enacted, and that's when that's how change happens, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of people, and I don't know if you listened to President Obama's farewell speech earlier this week, but that's what he said. He said that's how change happens. You got to show up and you got to dive in.
And that's exactly what we hope everybody will be doing for MLK Day of Service. The full event schedule can be found at finlandia.edu/MLKDay. Make sure you put it on your calendar. Make sure you get out, you get involved, because it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a rewarding experience for everybody that participates. A couple quick things I want to mention. If you haven't signed up for a service site, the registration is still open at finlandia.edu/MLKDay. There's not going to be a lot of options left, but there's still options available. And if you forget to sign up by the end of the day today, go in and talk to Leanne Fogel on Monday morning. She can help you with that.
That's a good point. Yeah, because registration does close today, but on Monday there will be Leanne with all of the gaps that there might be, or people who just didn't get on board and do it right away.
And we want everybody to participate.
Everybody.
And then one more thing that ends today, to the Equity and Diversity Committee that you're part of is looking for student reps.
We are.
And that application is due today, I believe.
It is. And of course, this is an opportunity for a student to be a liaison between the committee and the student body, because we want students who are interested in lifting up diversity on our campus and helping us understand what needs to be done. So we need somebody who's a hard worker, somebody who's a good communicator, and we meet once a month. So it's not a terrible obligation, right? And we do things like organize MLK Day activities, and then we're going to be involved, I think, in the diversity dinner that happens later in the spring. But we have lots of other things that we'd like to do, too.
Excellent. So, thank you so much for watching Finlandia Fridays this week. This is going to be the end of the episode for us today. Make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes. Every week this goes out on iTunes, and it's probably my favorite way to consume Finlandia Fridays because the audio is fun to listen to, and you can do it while you're doing other things as well. So, thanks again for being here today. Thanks, Renee, for being our guest.
You're welcome.
And we will see you next Friday.